On Friday, the Mariners got back to sea level as Luis Castillo dueled Gavin Williams, and JP beat the shift not one, not two, but 3 times. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. Mariners win 7-2 on Friday after a huge inning late in the game. On our side, finally, puts us ahead this week in the series early on. And it was the 7th inning. We scored 4 runs there and added on 1 more run via homer in the 8th inning. And had plenty of insurance runs to get it across this one. This one was tied 2-2 for a large portion of the game. As the Guardians struck first, 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Then we put up 2 runs in the 4th inning before having our big 7th and 8th to win the game. But a scoreless 5th and 6th, as well as top of the 7th. We didn't know which direction this game was going to go since it was tied, and we've been losing a lot of games as of late. But thankfully, when you pull one out late like this, that really can spark some momentum in the right direction. Anyway, getting into the guys who did well. JP, like I said, 3 hits, 3 for 5 in this one with a double and an RBI. Beat the shift 3 times. He's now up to 286 batting on the season with a 792 OPS. 3 hard hits as well against the shift. So love to see that from, JP, one of our super key left-handed hitters. Then Julio goes 2 for 5 as well. He has just been staying on the breaking ball so well as of late. I want to give Julio credit because this is the one maturity issue, I think, above all else, that he's struggled with in his major league career to this point. And if he does maintain this level of maturity, staying on breaking balls, I think we could see him really take off. And this could be the difference. Cal goes 0 for 3 in this one, but does score a run, walks twice, doesn't strike out. His OPS is 993 still in the season, batting 262. Julio, by the way, batting 264 in the season with 754 OPS. Checking in on Jorge Polanco, obviously, started super hot, been cold as of late, but he goes 2 for 5, hits a double, and hits a home run, this time from the right-handed side. That was the 8th inning final insurance run for us. And what's great about this is that he's finding ways to perform well, even though the book on him is now out. He was really, a platoon guy who was super hot, similar to Ryan O'Hearn. But Jorge Polanco is just showing that he can find other ways to impact the ball game than the traditional way, just from the left side. We've been letting him hit righty a lot more. Dan Wilson's been liking that, and it paid off last night finally. Randy also going 2 for 4 in this one, scoring a run. So a lot of production from the top of the lineup. And around Cal. Everybody around Cal in the lineup produced tonight. You had 7 guys in the lineup out of 9 tonight had multi-hit efforts. Last night. So, very encouraging signs there. Randy then. Well, jumping around a little bit. Jorge Polanco batting 266 on the season with a 796 OPS. Had 2 hard hits in this one. Forgot to mention that Julio had a hard hit as well. Moving down to 5th in the order, Randy, 2 for 4, runs scored, RBI, walk, no strikeout. His average is up to 233. It feels like that's starting to finally climb up there. And then a 742 OPS, showing that offensive production. Just through walks, he's close to the AL lead in walks still. So that plate discipline, elite from Randy Arozarena this year. That is the most valuable thing in the middle of the order. Rowdy then. I picked Rowdy to hit a home run, I promised, before the game. I told my boy Jack who I was at the game with. I did not tell you guys because obviously I'll only preview this game on Wednesday after our last game. But you had Rowdy go for 2 for 5, hit a homer, hit a double in this one. He's starting to get pretty hot, and his OPS is up to 710. Then Dom Canzone goes 2 for 5 with a run scored, 2 RBIs, 1 strikeout, no walks. But, after that big game-tying shot in the 9th inning in Arizona, right when he got called up against the Sportsman Club, he's now up to 267 with an 886 OPS in the season with a hard hit in this one as well. Ben Williamson 2 for 4, 2 hard hits too. It's not something that Ben Williamson traditionally does. and he walked, didn't strike out though. So he getting on base 3 times in 5 plate appearances. You love to see that. Hitting 260 with a 623 OPS, obviously lower than the rest of the lineup, but the way he contributes to the game, I'd say, shows up on the stat sheet the least. We need to, I'm going to now start calling it the stat that Ben Williamson leads the Mariners in is Leo Rivas plus. It's just a joke, but you kind of get it. He's that Leo Rivas type of guy. And it's ironic that we had to get rid of Leo Rivas to get Cole Young up here. And again, only hitting 225 with 519 OPS so far, but he got a hit, an RBI double at that late in the game. And I'm sorry, I think that was was that the 8th inning? Sorry, my memory's a little bit shot because late game last night with the fireworks and all, which obviously was great to have fireworks after having such a great game. And wanted to cover the offensive side because this lineup is looking a little more respectable just after one hot game. So I think it's worth noting, while everybody was freaking out on the skid where we lost 9 of 12 recently, now the streak right now just says win 1. So hopefully tonight, where I'm going to be going to the game in a few minutes, we can build on that. And then Luis in this one did an excellent job of limiting hard contact, I'd like to say. Even though he did give up the 2 homers, it was really just 2 mistake pitches. And it was bizarre because right after he gave up the back-to-back homers, Jones and Kwan, it was they were on changeups, which we were saying, okay, we want Luis to throw the changeup more. That's his knockout pitch. He throws it, and then I know that Kwan's was on a changeup. I have to go look right now to make sure that, see if Nolan Jones' homer was also on a changeup. That was on a 4-seamer, first pitch, but then Kwan's was on a changeup. He threw 2 changeups to Kwan in 3 pitches. The second, the third pitch overall, which Kwan hit a homer on. Then this Manzardo at bat was crazy because 4 out of the 5 pitches he threw were changeups. He was just angry pumping the changeup in there. Ended up getting a ground out off of him. But we know Luis wants to use the changeup. Based on that, he really just starts unloading it in that one at bat after giving up a homer on it. It's frustrating to watch him not have that. But he throws 22 changeups in this one overall. He settles in, only gets two swinging strikes on 22 of them, but does limit the hard contact. Was his most valuable weapon in limiting hard contact last night. 80.3 average mile-an-hour exit velocity on those, and allowed him to have an overall weak contact profile. So really encouraging to see Luis using the changeup 22 times, 17 total swinging strikes on 99 pitches. The thing is, maybe the changeup didn't get all the whiffs, but the fastball gets 13 swinging strikes on 53. Boom. We have action with Luis Castillo. Could be jumping back into the top 30 at starting pitcher pretty soon. So that's really encouraging to see. And then shouts out to the bullpen holding things down. So the only real damage was back-to-back homers. And if that's what it takes to get Luis to use his changeup again, if there's a few blips, in the road, I expect that. But I'd rather we have our big guns as we come down the stretch. And that's really what I wanted to talk about here today when reviewing Friday night's game. JP and beating the shift, as a topic was one other thing is that not only did JP beat the shift 3 times, but so did Jorge on that homer. Cole Young went oppo. So a lot of guys beating the shift on our team. I'm sure I forgot quite a few because 16 overall hits, 307 expected batting average. Still not as high as you'd expect for 16 hits. But yeah, great offensive performance overall and extremely encouraging, even more than just on the, in the analytics, on the numbers side, being at the game, watching it. The Mariners do not look broken offensively. This is where that traditional Edgar Martinez, Dan Wilson approach really shines. And you held Cleveland to 4 hits, 2 runs, 198 expected batting average on the night. Funny thing is, the Mariners did lose the hard hit battle. Only hit the ball hard 27.3% of the time to Cleveland's 35.1%. And so from this, my hypothesis is that Edgar and Dan said, hey, you guys are going to go oppo tonight. You guys are going to sit back and be late instead of early. And wow, it worked. There was some good matchup relievers. Cade Smith, Tim Herron, Hunter Gaddis, Cole Bialik coming in for the Guardians. They do have a good bullpen. was good to make him use 4 of those guys and see them early on in the series. And then Gavin Williams only getting 7 swinging strikes on us on 89 pitches. Although he had a good few innings, he did a good job of mixing up his pitches. A lot of 4-seamers early, then sprinkled in the breaking balls, and then unloaded them to get up to 89 pitches at the end. We managed to do, just enough damage on him, and then get back to the top of the order the third time where he couldn't face him. And that's another reason why I'm excited to keep watching our offense tonight, even before we make a trade at the deadline. And that's going to do it for today. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow to recap Game 70 of the season. Yes, we're almost at the halfway point. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know who are the Mariners All-Stars going to be this season. I'll see you guys next time. Go M.